Please, in this media game, and on my way from France, I was watching all the stations, whether it's NBC, CNN, all of them, and a consensus has emerged. Media Western consensus. So there's a noise from somewhere. So first of all, we have been blocked from listening to the Russian side. In fact, some media sites announced that they will not carry information from Russia. Number two, the Western media and the Western political position, they are not different. CNN is not different from Biden. To what extent, sir, are we being manipulated, or are they telling the truth? And to what extent are they using images to support their own agenda? Please limit yourself to the media.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome for me. Olagunju. Thank you, sir. And sorry for, I had to rush into a friend's office because my office is still very far from here. Thank you, Prof. I have listened to speeches by previous speakers. They've spoken on the causes and the consequences. And I want to speak on the impact of this war on the media, global and domestic. At the global level, I will speak on the costs. The costs have been very tremendous on media operations. And if you look at the immediate effects of the war, you could see how disruptions in the supply of crude oil immediately spiked prices and costs across all continents of the world. And I want to say that in Nigeria, I am a newspaper person, and I have colleagues in the electronic media too. At the domestic level, the Nigerian media has had to contend with the high costs of operations, and I will refer to this for instance. With the high costs, the immediate impact of the war has seen that the cost of diesel, the cost of operation went up at a time when we have also had to contend with power issues in Nigeria. The fact has been that the media in Nigeria has had to cut down on its costs, and when you reduce costs, it means you are reducing access. When you reduce broadcast hours in the electronic sector, you are reducing access of the people to media content. And here I could see that this limitation ultimately negatively impacts free flow of information. In newspaper operation, before the war, a ton of newsprint in Nigeria sold for 750,000 naira. Immediately after the war, it went up to 900,000 naira per ton. And you could see that despite this, the newspaper industry has not been able to increase the cost of its products. Newspapers sold for 200 naira before the war, it is still 200 naira. Meanwhile, there has been between 10 to 25% increase in the cost of production. Then let's talk about human costs. By the third week of the war, Al Jazeera TV reported that refugee number had reached 3 million, with additional 2 million IDPs in Ukraine and around the world, around that axis. As of Friday, 11 March 2022, we've had about 11 journalists covering the war killed as a result of the war. Fox News, for instance, lost 2 journalists outside Kyiv. Apart from the dead, official statistics also put the number of wounded journalists so far at 35. One of them reportedly lost parts of his leg, of his left leg. So, and apart from all this, we've also seen that at international level, in Russia, Putin has, about a week or 2 ago, Putin banned Twitter and Facebook in Russia, blocked the 2 tech giants. And in addition to that, we've seen that BBC, VOA, Radio Free Europe, Deutsche Welle, and Medusa have also said they are pulling out of Russia and reducing their operations in Ukraine. And when you do all these things, the implication is that if the media is very consequential in determining how long a war lasts and how well a war is fought, how the humanitarian situation there is handled, and you now find the media being a major victim of the war itself. The fact is that the other time you were asking how the war will end. The war will end the way, I want to say, the way the media wants it to end. And that is likely to be contentious here, because whether we like it or not, whatever the two sides are now doing, are now manipulating the media, manipulating information that goes out. And when you have such scenario, the implication is that it is either the situation is managed positively on time, or it escalates. And the other time we had Professor Wole Soyinka saying that the next world war will be caused by the social media. Already we are seeing that in this case. We are seeing a situation in which, because the traditional media is contending with a lot of challenges and is paying a very high cost in material and human there, we've seen that people now pick their stories from social media. And when you rely on what we call citizen journalism, people who are not trained to be managers of information, when we rely on them, it is garbage in, garbage out. It is what they say is happening there that people believe. And when the two sides say that they are winning, and okay, if the Ukrainian authorities are telling their people that we are winning this war, whereas they are not winning the war, the people could be encouraged to continue to defy the superior power from the Russians. And on the other side, we have Russia that is contending with internal issues at home, with internal resistance to its operations in Ukraine at home. But then, at the end of the day, whatever information is pushed out there is what will determine how far and how well this thing ends. So in essence, what I would say in essence is that if the media is very crucial in managing information about a conflict, it is my recommendation that all efforts must be mustered to protect press freedom, access to information, and the rights of journalists to life in the coverage of this crisis. I say this because recently, about a week ago,